Greetings, this is the Questing GM, and this is RPG A Day 2020, day 30. And the word of the day is Portal. So, uh, easiest way to talk about Portal in role playing games is, well, there's magical portals in your fantasy, typical fantasy RPG, which I'll probably talk a little bit more on. The idea of the magic circle, or the moment that we all agree to immerse ourselves into the game that we are playing, into the fiction that we are playing. We enter through a portal into the gaming experience, and that's one way. That's probably one usage of the word portal. uh Another, the word portal has actually been quite a bit of an interest to me more recently, because I'm currently running a D&D game that is centered upon Sigil, City of Doors, and that's an entire city that is most famous for its portals that takes you anywhere across the multiverse of the D&D lore. And the players have been planar hopping around several places quite a bit, including in and out of Sigil, and they'll be probably going back to Sigil pretty soon, and they'll take them all up and just around there. Planar hopping campaigns has definitely been one idea that I've been trying to really put really build an entire campaign around that. Planescape obviously being the ideal campaign setting for that sort of thing. But my inspirations actually comes from an anime called Tsubasa Chronicles, which is literally jumping into new worlds, entering through portals at the end of every episode, or sometimes even extended episodes. And there's like I believe there's an entire overarching plot about looking for feathers, magical feathers, and piecing together a princess's soul. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting premise for and reason to be to go planar hopping. uh but and this is probably one type of adventure that, if you read closely into D&D 5th edition's design philosophies, you can actually see that it's actually sort of built in, but maybe not a lot of people are aware of that. But if for this video in particular, this is one of the rare occasions and a rare chance that it actually allows me to really crack open an old dig out my own small little RPG collection, and to talk about a bit more about Portal and Portal mechanics. And one of the things that I never really got to use in the games that I've run, which is set in a particular setting. And that book and that setting turns out to be this, the Forgotten Realms campaign setting from 3rd edition. And it was here that I actually stumbled upon rules for portals. And if you look into page 59, but I think one of my favorite things was actually the artwork of the portals. I'm not sure if I can show it here. Yeah, this is the world of portals, and this is actually where you get to see a lot of interesting things. There's a lot of interesting mechanics in regards to portals, and I'm not sure this is true to other D&D settings in general, but portals actually do play a very significant part, or has a significant place in Forgotten Realms and its lore and setting. And there's a wonderful series of articles back from the 3.x days. I think it's called Perilous Gateways by Ed Greenwood himself, who he writes articles about well-known or secret portals that are peppered throughout the realms, and there's a whole bunch of backstory and lore that's tied with them, and how they work and where do they take you, and some of the lore that's known behind each portal, or how they got to it. And I think that all these stories of portals has a basis on how portals work in the Forgotten Realms. So in the Forgotten Realms, you have rules about how to detect portals. There used to be even a spell for it, like you had how to for detecting portals, how to operate portals. You needed a key for certain portals for them in order for them to work, or to take you to places that you want them to. You can seal portals as well, either by destroying them or using certain types of magic. And then there are different types of portals. There are one-way portals, two-way portals. They are portals that can take you to that only takes you to certain places. There are portals that can take you to several places. They are portals that can take you. They are only like creature only portals. So it was here when when I first read this in the campaign setting. It that really opened up a lot of ideas of how to use portals. And it's not simply just a travel device. It's a unknown travel device that requires a lot more study, uh, to be a bit more careful of using it. uh, and it's actually a rarity in some sense, that at least in the context of Forgotten Realms, that portals are not really a dime of a dozen. There's a lot of research that has to go into finding portals, knowing how to use them, and hopefully uh, going to a destination that doesn't involve you getting killed in the process. And maybe there are reasons to be destroying portals as well, because you don't want certain access for certain people to certain places. So yeah, so definitely, if you really want to think about how portals can be more interesting in your camping setting, and I can understand why why you don't want portals to be too complicated. But I think the way the Forgotten Realms setting does it, really adds a lot of flavor to portals. And like I mentioned as well in the series of articles, so that's definitely something that's worth looking into and checking out, if you haven't already. And those are some of the things that just makes me love the Forgotten Realms for those reasons. And I wasn't expecting to talk about portals in RPG a day, so thanks for the opportunity, I guess. And I will see you on our last day of RPG a day 2020, day 31.